Good evening and welcome to round 12 of the Southern League Open from Hayling Island. So what do you mean what happened to round 10 and 11? Well, I didn't fish round 10. I just couldn't make it. And then round 11 it was a hard night and I decided not to film. So here we are. This is round 12, last match of the year. This is Hayling Island. I know a guy that used to film these SLO matches, Wayne Morgan, used to refer to this as his nemesis beach, and I think he's right. This is a difficult beach to fish for me, certainly. First time I fished here, the wind got up and blew my beach shelter away. The second time, the tide came up so far it washed us off the beach. We had to move up onto the walkway. And then the other times I've fished here, I just haven't caught very much. And you can be fishing here and the person next to you is fishing at distance and they're catching, and the person on the other side of you is fishing close and they're catching, and I can't find a fish. So yeah, not a great place for the last match, especially as I'd set myself a target of finishing in the top 20, and I'm currently 20th because I did all right in round 11. So I could do with a decent result tonight. So this is not the beach I would have chosen to try to get that result. So here we are anyway, Hayling Island, December. What are we going to do? Well, the species are reduced down this time of year, but there should be more of them. So the whiting should be here, the dogfish should be here. You can get a few bass along here. There may be the odd ray as well. Over the last few weeks, there's been the odd codlin, but you wouldn't come here and target them. But there has been the odd one come up. So as there's 40 very good anglers down here tonight, someone might pick one up. But what am I going to do? Well, I could go for that distance. Try to do that. Drop down to one hook or maybe a pompey loop rig and try to hit distance with small baits. I could come in close. That would be the thing to do, is to change it. What I normally do doesn't work. I should be changing it and trying one of those other things. But I'm not going to do that. I've decided, because I've tried it before and it didn't work for me here. Nothing did. So I've decided to go the other way, and I'm going to do what I do best for me, what works best for me on sort of an average beach. And that's just going to have a 3-hook clip down, size 2 hooks, and I'm going to go fish baits. I mean, most other people have got worm tonight, and that may be a mistake on my part. Ragworm tipped with mackerel is a very good bait for the dogfish, but I'm just going to go all out fish baits. So I'd really like to have some good sand eels, and I've got some small sand eels, but it's been very difficult this year to get good quality sand eels around my way. So I've got anchovies, and I'm going to cut those up into sand eel shaped pieces, maybe cocktail them with a bit of squid. I've got plenty of squid to use squid on its own, and then I've got mackerel. So those are the 3 main baits. I may have sneaked in some frozen black lug into my bag just in case, but if I get to that, then things will be bad. So here's the bait selection, and as I said, I've got mackerel, which is cut quite thin. You don't want it to be too thick, so most of the flesh is taken off. I'll cut that in strips in a bit. I've already cut my anchovy up into pieces. They're still quite frozen, and I've cut a fair bit of squid up, get a bit of a head start. What I would say is, do try and keep your bait frozen. It's a lot easier to put on the hook, and also if it's still pretty much frozen when you cast out, it's going to take all those juices out with it. It doesn't matter so much with the squid. You can prepare the squid in advance, but most of my bait is still in the freezer bag. Some of my earlier videos, you'll know that I don't really like tip lights. I've got tape on my rod, and it's more than good enough for me to see what I'm doing just with my headlights. But I have noticed it doesn't show up that well on the camera. So I bought myself some new tip tape, and it's not from a fish and tackle shop. It's not even from an online supplier. I've just gone on eBay and found someone that supplies tape that's used on emergency vehicles and work vehicles, etc. And I'm hoping this is a bit better for me. I hope you can see that. So I've been a bit too busy to film, but that's 9 fish in that first hour, which is probably more fish than I expected to get in the whole match. So excellent, excellent start for me, and that includes a decent dogfish as well. That's a nice one, better than I've been having. Much quieter second hour with only 2 fish, but it'll do. I'm still quite happy with where I am. I'm still ahead of the guys next to me, and that's all you can really do. Right, so it's 10 o'clock now, so we're 3 hours in. We started at 7, we're finishing at midnight. That hour was sort of in between. Says not one has a card. So I had 9 fish in the first hour, 2 in the second, and then 7 fish in that third hour. They're only whiting now, but they do seem to be getting a bit bigger. They're starting to sort of be 30 centimetres plus. So I'm sorry there's not much footage, but it's always difficult filming in the dark. But tonight Yeah, it's quite hectic, and I'm trying to fish this hard. It's the last match of the year. I want to do at least reasonably well. So I'll take what I can and keep you informed as much as I can. I'm now down to using just a little bit of mackerel on each hook because the whiting seem to be taking that more often. And it doesn't, when there's quite a few whiting about, it doesn't need to be a big bait. You know, just bite size to make sure that when they pick that bait up, they take the hook, and it's working. They're not the biggest dogfish, but I'm not going to complain about a triple shot. 2 dogfish and a whiting. So it's 11 o'clock now, so it's 4 hours in. I'm really quite tired. It's just about high tide. That's the last cast I pulled in. That's the second cast all night when I didn't catch anything. Oh, but I am up to 24 fish, 228 ounces. That last hour, or the beginning of the hour anyway, was good for me with 3 dogfish, including those 2 I got on camera, which was a double shot. Triple shot, 2 dogs and a whiting. I think it's more fish tonight than I've had in the last 4 matches that I fished at Hayling. So I can't complain about Hayling anymore. I've gone down to very short snoods. I'm only using mackerel now because that seems to be what's catching. The 2 guys next to me, I'm ahead of them, but they're not very far behind. They're like 170, 180 ounces. So there's a lot of fish out there. And I'm sure further along the beach, although I don't think people will be catching a lot more fish in numbers, but some of the big casters, they'll be getting more dogfish than I've had. They'll be getting double shots of dogfish, I expect. But it's been so much better than I expected tonight. Just difficult to film, unfortunately for you guys. Now that is quite a big dab around here, and there is a prize for the biggest flatfish. So if no one catches a flounder, I could be in. So it's midnight now. I've got 1 cast left to put out. I need to start tidying up now, but I'll only bring you back if I get something really good. But at the moment, I'm sitting on, God, I haven't even added it up. What's that? About 255 ounces. So that's over £15. So it's been a cracking night. So yeah, I don't know how the other people do. We're fishing between groins, so I know I'm ahead of the 2 guys that are between the same groin I am, but it's difficult to talk to the other people along the beach. So I suspect someone's got. I've caught a good number of fish, but some of the big casters will have lots of dogfish. But I won't know the results till tomorrow. You'll have the results at the end of this. Sorry there hasn't been much exciting footage. It's been I've had to fish hard tonight, but I'll put more of a sort of rundown at the end of this video than I normally do, to run through some of the stuff that's happened. I don't know how I can film better in the dark and when there's lots of fish and you're sort of working hard. But I'll have a think about that. But anyway, you need to subscribe for this. With this number of fish, you need to subscribe, surely. Anyway, I'll let you know what happens. So that was the last Southern League and Open match of 2025. And sorry it's taken me a little time to get it out, but I've had COVID for a couple of weeks over Christmas. I'm only just getting over it. So to give you a bit of a story of the year, last season I came 23rd. This season I really wanted to finish in the top 20. I got off to a good start by winning my zone in match 1, but after that things weren't great. I had a reasonable result in round 11 at Friars Cliff, but I went into the last match really needing a good result to finish in that top 20. And it's not my best beach, as I said in the video, and yet it turned out to be a really good night for me. Everything sort of worked. I set out to just really use mackerel, use tiny bits of mackerel in the hope that it was going to hit those whiting and the odd dogfish, and it worked. So the results. So in zone 1, Ben Arnold was first with £21 1 ounce, Ian Dancy second with £20 10, Jeff Fisk third with 17.7. I don't normally mention 4th and 5th, but I will this time for a reason. Nick Hayter was 4th with £17 3.5, and I was 5th with £17 2.5. So I was only 3.5 ounces off of 3rd place now. Zone B was won by Dave Lane with £30 11. Second, Daz Newland with £28 half ounce. And third, Russ Preston with £26.
Second place in Zone B wasn't enough for Daz Newland to win the league, because Ben Arnold had won Zone A, so Ben Arnold won the league this year. Largest flatfish was me with that dab that I showed you, that 29 centimetre dab, and that was joint with Will Hooper, who got one virtually last cast. Largest round fish was Dave Lane with a 31-ounce dogfish. That's a pretty good dogfish. And Daz Newland had the fish of the month, which was pout, and that was 15 ounces, which is a pretty good damn pout as well. So there we are. That's the end of the season. I didn't mention, did I? So that coming 5th moved me up to 17th place. So I'm quite pleased in a league of this standard for me to finish 17th. I'm quite pleased with that, and I think that's going to be hard to beat next year. I suppose in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh, now I need to aim for sort of 15. But I think that'd be very challenging, because every time you try to move up a bit, you're trying to beat better and better anglers. So tall order for me to improve next year. But while we're on next year, the first match of 2025 is the last weekend of January, and why not get involved? Go on to the Southern League and Open Facebook page. You'll have all the details there, and you can join. You can even just fish match 1, and before you decide, I don't think you have to decide whether you're going to join the league or not until the second match. And even then, if you decide not to join the league, you're welcome to fish any of the matches during the year just as opens. But I think you've got to get your membership in by match 2 if you want to be part of the league. So I hope you enjoyed 2024, and I hope I'll see some of you in 2025. So thanks a lot, guys, and subscribe. Thanks, guys.